Perfect. Okay. Hi, my name is Olivia Knox, Miss Knox, and this is my student. Address yourself.
Nate.
Nate? Yeah, okay. And today we'll be learning the violin. Wow.
Whoa.
Have you ever had any musical experiences before?
Yes, I'm a bassoon player and a sax player.
Wow. Have you ever adventured into the string world?
I played guitar for 4 years.
Okay. So that's pretty good. Well, this is the violin. It's used in orchestral music. A way to make sure they take good care of the violin is, don't be stupid and just throw your instrument around. Make sure, means it is made out of wood. You want to keep it into a very good air quality space, nothing too warm, nothing too cold, because it will crack the wood. And it can get really bad out of tune, and these are not very easy to fix. They're really expensive instruments, so you want to be very good child with your instrument. So yeah, it has 4 strings. The first string is G, the second string is D, the third string is A, and the last string is E. And so that's all 4 strings. It's very important. As you see here, there's some tape, and that will help you notate what's the next note on the instrument.
Like guitar frets.
Yeah, like guitar frets. But so in the long run, you would want to make sure that you have this all memorized when you're becoming a professional violinist. But for right now, means you're a beginner. We have these tape to identify where the note pitches are. So yeah, before we get into that, I'm gonna place it down. Make sure you open up your case flat on the ground, with nothing around it. Do not put it on a table, or else it'll fall. Ignore that, that's on a table. But it's not a flat surface with nothing around it, and it's not by the edge.
It's not gonna fall off.
It's not gonna fall off. It's not by the edge. So yeah. The next thing you'll learn is, this is the bow. So when you put the bow, when you grab the bow and put away the bow into your case, you always want to make sure that these strings are loose. As you can see, these strings are very loose. And how I remember it is, left is loose, right is tight. So it should be to the left right now, and you are getting ready to perform with your violin. You want to make sure that the screw on the bottom here is turned to the right, but you don't want it too tight, because then you could snap the strings.
That would not be good.
No, it would not be good. Yes, it should look like you could stick your finger through-ish, kind of, as you can see. Make sure you do not ever really touch the strings. They're made out of horsehair and they're very expensive. And your oils on your hands can damage them. So you want to try to be as cautious as possible with not trying to touch the strings on your bow. Okay. So there's that with the bow. When you are getting ready to play with your violin, you will also have, one second, right here. You will also have this foam thing. As you see, it has 2 different sizes. This has a thicker side and this has a thinner side. And what this is for is to place by the underside of the violin, right by your chin support strap area. And what it's for is to help support and comfortability. And the reason why we do that is because if you don't have that, it's really stiff. It kind of digs into you. It doesn't support you well for you to hold the violin right. And yeah.
It causes problems.
It causes problems, and you don't want those problems. You want to be comfortable while playing your instrument. as you know, you are a bassoonist and a saxophone, and you have like that neck strap.
Yeah.
So like that's kind of related to the violin, that this chin support, the neck support thingy, foam, is like the same thing, like your neck straps, or you have like a seatbelt for your bassoon, like whatever you want to call it, not a
Seat
seatbelt,
strap.
seat strap.
Yeah.
I'm learning something from you, like
Yeah.
you're learning something from me.
Hey.
That's how teachers work. In the long run, if you became a professional string instrument for like the violin, you can upgrade from this lovely foam that is very cheap. This is like not even $5, like very, very cheap. You can upgrade it to more of a plastic one that has like a little bit of foam and it like arches perfectly onto like your shoulder, and it like connects to the violin or viola, because viola uses the same thing to help you perform better as well. So how you would put this lovely foam on with your violin here, go on the back side, and so how I remember it, this is your chin support thingy. Drawn a blank. Sorry.
Chin support.
Yeah, chin support.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want the thinner side behind it, and then you want the thicker side on the other side. So like that. Thicker side. See this thin side with the chin, thicker side on the other side. And you'll get two lovely rubber bands. They don't have to be blue, but mine are blue because blue's cool.
Blue is the coolest.
Blue is the coolest. And you'll put them over like so. And this doesn't harm the instrument. Makes funny noise. And you could use one, but I like to use two for extra support on both sides. You want to make sure it's right in the middle. You might have to adjust it once you have the rubber bands on because it kind of shifts a little.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that's how it'll be on. Looks like a little V. Looks like that in the front. Out of the way from the strings and such. And you'll place it on your left shoulder. Your left shoulder. And it'll go like this. And then you put your chin on the chin rest, like this. And it should be comfortable enough that you should be able to let go.
That's scary.
It's kind of scary. It doesn't have a lot of pressure. It just kind of props it up and does that. You want to try that for me?
Left shoulder.
Beautiful. Okay. While you have it up there, let's talk about how your left hand position would be. Have you ever played sports before?
Yes.
Like what type of sports?
Softball.
Softball, that's perfect. That's a good analogy. I like to use analogies with like something related to my students, such as sports. I play softball too, so this is really easy that we have a connection. So you know how when you hold a softball, that you kind of have like that C shape and you kind of really open? You kind of want that same mentality when you're holding the violin on the neck and you're trying to do the finger positions for that. You want to be nice and open, and you'll place your first finger on this first, on this first tape area, and then that'll be your first finger, and then your second finger will go on the second one. Yes, and you don't have to hold it down. Like once you go to the next one, you don't have to hold the one above. So it's not exactly like a guitar how you have to hold all of them down at once.
Yeah.
So you don't have to. You can. It doesn't changes the pitch that much. Whatever feels comfortable for you.
Yeah.
And then you move your third finger down to the next one. And that's the same type of mentality that you'll use when learning whatever on the violin.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. Means you learned how to hold it properly. I'm gonna teach you the D major scale.
Oh.
And we're gonna do it in the guitar position instead of on your chin first, so you can understand the graspness of doing the finger positions with your left hand, but then plucking with your right hand. And we're gonna pluck instead of using the bow because it's gonna help you understand the mechanism of how to make it comfortable for you. So with that, we're gonna take actually this off because it'll be easier.
Yeah.
be more up on your body. So,
Can't like.
so you're gonna put it up against your body. And it's gonna be tilted up. And then we're going to start on D, and this will be your D string, so it's the second string. And the D will be open. So when we pluck, we're gonna have your index finger right here on this black part. And you're gonna strum with your thumb. So play a D, which is the second string, which is open. Good job. And then E will be on the first tape on the D string. Good job. E. F sharp. Yep. Good job. G, which is third tape. A, which is the next string over the third string, open. And then B is first. And then C sharp is, sorry, drew a blank, is the second tape, yep. And then D. And then when you reverse it. Perfect! You are a professional! Wow! So can you do that for me? The D major scale, plucking in guitar position, 4 quarter notes each note for me. So let's do D, 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 D. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. D. Next note. F sharp. G. A, next G, open. First string D. Next string C sharp. And then D sharp. Oh, D, not D sharp, ignore that. And let's go back up. C sharp. E. A, good job. We can be really tricky. Yep. Sharp. Good job! I'm impressed.
Yeah!
I am so impressed. Way to go, kiddo. That was really good. So you remember how I taught you how to put this on?
Yeah, yeah.
You want to try to do it yourself?
Yeah, but you gotta tell me which side's thin and which side's thick.
So this is the thin side. This is the thick side.
Okay.
Thin, thick.
Yes.
You'll put the thick side on the opposite side of the chin.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Good job. And here's your first rubber band. Way to put it on your knees to make it more flat instead of me holding it up in the air, because I can't really do it standing up the best way, but you know you're doing really good. Very good job. I would put it over this little
Like ovary?
yes.
Oh,
So
okay.
it supports it a little bit more
Over the net.
with the knit. And then here's your second rubber band. Same concept.
Don't tell Breeze I'm playing violin. Yeah.
Oh, easy.
He's fine.
Okay. Nicely done. That's beautiful.
Tiny bit of a train wreck.
Okay, we're gonna put the violin off to the side now. And then we're gonna talk about the bow again. So when you're holding the bow, it'll be with your right hand. Your thumb will go underneath the bow in between of the strings and the wood. And then your index finger would be in the middle of like the black. And same with your middle finger and your ring finger. And then your pinky will be right by like that screw that we did to tighten these things. And it'll be like that. You wanna try that? So your thumb underneath. Good job. And yep. Yep. Yes, and you should be very relaxed. Kind of. It's kind of uncomfortable at first. You get used to it. And then can we just do like the motion of just like bowing? Yeah. It's kind of uncomfortable at first, but you'll get used to it.
Okay.
Okay. So. So it means that you know how to hold the bow. Let's act like we're tuning. I pre-tuned it, and how you tune it is you get a tuner out, and you tune to each note, which is G, D, A, and E. When you string these at first, you tighten them enough where it's you know, not gonna snap off, because these pegs are really hard to tighten, and you don't actually tune up here. You tune down here with the tuning pegs, and you'll turn left or right for sharp or flat to get it in tune. So I have it pre-tuned, but we're gonna pretend that it's not pre-tuned, and you're gonna go through it. So you're gonna put it on your chin like before, and then you're gonna have, and it's just gonna be open strings all throughout, and just holding it like that is just fine. And now let's bring the bow up here, and you need to have a lot of pressure and precision with the bowing. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Like, you want fast, but not too fast, because you need to have the speed and the pressure. And you're gonna have it slightly curved, and the strings are gonna be more towards you. Okay. Now strum down. That's up, down. Okay, nice and flowy. Let's do it. Use the whole bow from the top to the bottom. Try and focus it in the middle. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go from G, G, G. Okay, try to focus it in the middle. I try doing that going up. Try to focus going through the middle. And now you're gonna slightly turn it into the next note. Good job. Go up. And slightly turn down again. Yep. And then go to the next note. Go up. Make sure you stay in nice precision. And go down. Nicely done. It's really hard to make sure that it's a little loud because it's right there. But you want to make sure you keep it in the middle, right here.
Yeah.
That's where you're going to get the best tone quality from. Make sure you keep enough pressure, and make sure you have enough momentum when doing so to produce that perfect sound of tone quality. Okay. So yeah, now that you know how to do that, it's essentially how you tune. They'll go through that, and then they'll go right here tuning the pegs, and they have ear training enough that they could do it on their own without a tuner. But yeah, but it's pre-tuned, so we don't have to worry about that. I'm gonna fall, sorry. So remember how the D scale went again?
Let's start on this one.
Yes, the second finger. Right? So let's do it. Let's do D, D, E, E, E. No, all the way down. Can we start from the top? Start from
Which way's
right
down and which
Sorry.
way's up?
This will be down. Go all the way to the top and all the way back down. Slower. First finger on this.
I was playing on the wrong string.
Easily. Let's try again. Second string open. Make sure you have it nice and cupped. Okay. Open string. A little bit slower. Okay, first finger down for next note. Ooh. Second finger. Third finger. Okay, now we're gonna go open on the next string. Yep.
Why does it sound like that?
You gotta go faster. Yeah, there you go. Good job. Nice pressure. First finger. Okay. Second finger. Third finger. Nicely done. Make sure that I know it's really hard to do that hand-eye coordination of trying to do the fingering positions with your left hand and also bowing with the right hand, and making sure that the bow stays in the middle where it has the best tone quality, but also making sure that you have the right finger positions. take your time. Don't rush it. Really focus on it, and it's okay. We're gonna start from the high D and we go back down. So yes.
My fingers slipped.
Yeah. Oh, nicely done.
Do I
Slow.
need to push it harder?
Just a little bit, not too hard. Okay. Good job. Now into the second string. Open. Oh, not open. Sorry, third. Sorry. A little bit more pressure. Really make sure you get. Maybe focus on the one. There you go. Try that one more time. Focus on the second string more. You're probably moving it onto a different string. Bravo! You did it! I think you could be a professional violinist now.
Oh, I think I'll stick with bassoon actually.
Why not?
That one's a little bit easier.
Well, I suppose.
Well, I suppose.
Well, yeah. Thank you for letting me teach you. I heard you learned a lot.
Fun.
Was it fun? I'm so
Yeah.
glad. Let's talk about, putting away the instrument.
Yeah.
So you're gonna put the violin down on a flat surface, so I can hold it. And so you remember when I said when you're putting it away,
That thing left.
place the strings up to you and turn it left for loose.
My hands are sweaty.
It's okay.
I can't get it.
There you go. Now you do it all the rest of the way. Perfect. Nice and loose. And then take off our chin support, nice and slowly. Put this into our violin case. Place this nice and down. And put that away. And you're doing this all on the ground on a flat surface, putting away because you don't.
Bad things don't happen.
So bad things don't happen. And yeah. Pleasure doing business with you.
Pleasure doing business with you.